duyuyorsunuz değil mi çocuklar?
Hı.
Güzel.
Geliyor hocam.
Güzel. Çok güzel. Okay. So let's get started then.
Are we going to talk
Can
about...
somebody else record as well? Efe, record tuşuna basabilir misin çocuğum?
Record mu? Tamam.
Evet.
Bir dakika.
Biz kaydedebiliyor muyuz ki?
Galiba öyle bir şey oluyordu.
Evet
Olmuyor.
oluyor.
Recording var.
Sizin kaydınızı durdurabiliyoruz sadece.
Evet.
Nasıl? Kaydedemiyor musunuz?
Şu an kayıt açık.
Siz
Açık
kayıt
yapma.
yapmışsınız zaten.
Başkası da kaydediyor da biz sadece hocanın kaydını durdurabiliyoruz.
Tamam bir dakika çocuklar. Bakalım kayıt evet kayıt açık. Tamam. Evet çocuklar. Şimdi let's get started now. What I'm going to talk, okay, first of all, welcome all to this class. And what we're going to study today is, as I told you last time, is effective presentation techniques. And I'm going to discuss effective presentation techniques as they relate to preparation of a business plan presentation. What the key points are for a business plan presentation, and this is going to help you with your project presentations that you're going to have in the upcoming week. Okay.
Okay.
But in order to prepare for your presentation, you need to consider the things that we cover today.
Okay.
Very nice. Okay. First of all, there is a video that you can watch, and I strongly recommend you to watch this after the class because it's like a summary of what we are going to discuss. First of all, when you are given a particular subject of presentation, the first thing you do is, if you don't know anything about the subject at all, for example, life after coronavirus, okay? This is the subject. What is the first thing that we do? The first thing we do is we put together all kinds of thoughts and all kinds of ideas and all kinds of information that we can put together on a sheet of paper.
Yani istişare gibi istişare yaparak daha iyi
We do
çözüm.
brainstorming, okay, Efe? Brainstorming with our group, and we put together all the things that come to our minds on a piece of paper.
Okay.
On a sheet of paper, okay?
Got it.
And then we classify this information into meaningful categories in order to determine what headings we are going to use in our presentation. And this is called mind mapping. Does anybody use this technique at all?
Not for me. I didn't use it.
Efe Karadeniz'den, are you Efe? Efe Karadeniz sen misin? Are you Efe Karadeniz?
No.
Not for me? Who said not for me?
I said I really didn't use it until today.
Okay.
But I may.
But do you think that might be a useful technique though now?
It may. I'm just not sure about it because I didn't use it before. But
okay. Is there anybody who used it so far? Who has used it so far? In any kind of presentation?
Not in a presentation, but I used it before, but it's been a very long time.
It's been a very long time, yeah? Okay. But it's the mind mapping technique is to classify a huge amount of information into meaningful categories. Okay? Now,
what categories?
Meaningful categories.
Hocam çok özür dileyerekten bölüyorum ama siz yoklama aldınız mı?
Hayır almadım.
Almadınız, tamam. Teşekkür ederim, tamam.
Okay. Yoklama almadım çünkü ders sonunda gönderecek bana Babürşah. Tamam mı? Okay. Now, how do we edit the information that we put into a mind map? How do we use this information? What does it depend on? How do we decide which information we are going to use and which not?
First of all, I was late, so could you summarize what's mind map?
Mind map is okay. Suppose the question is this. Suppose you are given a subject that you don't know anything about, and you are asked to write to develop a presentation about this subject. For example, life after coronavirus, okay? You don't know much about it. And so, where do you start, first of all, Efe? My idea is, what I recommend is, you first put together all the information that you can and all the ideas that you have in a big piece of paper. Does this make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And then you classify this information into meaningful categories, into logical categories. Okay. For example, social, economic, environmental, what else? Political, etc. We can do this with this subject, life after coronavirus. So you classify them into meaningful categories, and that's mind mapping. You map your mind. Okay?
So it's basically categorizing?
Categorizing into logical categories.
Okay.
And those logical categories will determine the headings of your presentation.
What does mean meaningful categories?
Meaningful, anlamlı demek çocuğum.
Anlamlı, okay.
Okay? So those will determine the headings of your presentation, the topics of your presentation, the themes of your presentation. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Okay, but then what are the questions we should ask in order to exactly determine what information we are going to use and what not? First of all,
Mikrofonu kapar mısın?
okay.
Kimden geliyor?
Please turn off your microphones. Alo.
Babuşa kapat artık şu mikrofonu.
Babuşa.
Can you turn off your microphones, please?
Hocam siz kapatın ya. Çabuk gelin kapat tuşuna basın.
Ne yapayım ben? Babuşağı mı kapatayım?
Evet.
Evet.
Evet hocam.
Mute'layabiliyorsunuz hocam.
Kapattım ben, kapattım.
Tamam.
AFK'ydım zaten.
Evet. So the idea is the first question you should ask in order to determine what to tell is what? Who is my audience? Okay? Who is listening to me? Who am I going to present to?
It can be any kind of age person.
Sorry?
It can be anybody. You can present it to kids or adults or CEOs, everybody.
Exactly, but depending on who you are presenting to in the specific occasion, in the specific session, your presentation content may change and the way you present it may change, because what may change is how much they already know about the subject or not. How much do they already know about it? Okay? So you should have an understanding of your audience first. Who am I presenting to?
Okay.
And then you're going to decide, what do I want to tell them? What exactly the messages that I want to convey to the audience? What are the exact messages that I want to give to the audience?
Didn't you pass how much
Ana
they
mesaj
already
gibi
know?
mi?
Sorry?
Didn't you pass how much do they already know?
Didn't you what?
The pass, you didn't read it.
No, but I mentioned it. How much they already know.
Okay.
How much they already know is important in order to determine what exactly how much information you're going to give, right?
Okay. I didn't.
Okay. And then what are the messages, the main messages that I want to communicate to my audience. And of course you have a time limit. So the idea is, how much time am I allowed? So if I have 5 minutes, I have to structure these 5 minutes in order to cover all my main messages and all the necessary information that I should give to the most effective way.
Sorry. How much time we will have in, like, I
5
think
minutes. 5 minutes you will have, and 10 minutes of feedback discussion period we'll have. So you have altogether 15 minutes.
okay, thanks.
Could you read the minute?
Could I what?
Because I had to write this.
No, you don't have to write this, because you'll have it in your classroom, Efe.
Oh, okay.
Okay? You don't have to write these. Okay, please. Now, once you answer these questions, you need to structure your presentation. And first of all, you should have an aim for the presentation. And then you're going to not include any other kind of information that is not relevant to the aim of your presentation, okay?
What does mean irrelevant?
Irrelevant, alakalı olmayan demek. Now, you're going to decide on your headings and subheadings, and you're going to put them in a logical order. And the logical order is, you'll have a beginning, a middle, the main themes, and a wrap-up, a summary part. Okay?
I didn't understand well. Could you?
What did you understand, Efe'cim?
I didn't listen well.
But you please listen well, because I cannot talk with you all the time. Yeah, please listen well. So you should clarify your aim. Okay, you should make your aim clear. What is the aim of this presentation? Okay.
Okay.
And then you don't include any other kind of information that is not serving to this aim. That is not useful to this aim. Okay?
Okay.
And then you decide on your headings, your subheadings, and then you have 3 main sections: the beginning, introduction, main themes, and a sum up, a wrap up part.
Okay.
Very good. Now, then when you are presenting, how can you present? If you're doing a long presentation, for example, what might you use in order to present? Let me ask you this question. Do you exactly read what's written on the slides? Or do you? No. What do you do?
You may add things from your mind, or for a while, maybe you can use images or videos also.
Very good. Okay, Dennis. And then maybe you can prepare notes for yourself, right?
Yes.
In order to actually remind you what you're going to talk about, other than what is written on the slides.
Yeah, even in Google Slides, there's a section that says notes for speaker.
Exactly, the notes pages, notes for speaker in the PowerPoint, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So you can develop those notes in order to help you while you are presenting. And then you can use, for example, one page of notes for the introduction, 1 page of notes for the main theme, and 1 page of notes for the end. Okay?
Okay.
Very nice. Now my question is, there is a technique called topic sentence, which means that on each slide there is one sentence that is the most important message that slide gives. Okay? That's called topic sentence. and we
Okay.
write it in the beginning of the slide, at the beginning section of the slide. Does anybody use this technique?
I do.
You do. Okay, very good. Who else?
Is it the beginning of slides or?
Beginning of the slide, yeah. So there
Okay.
is one sentence that tells you what is the essence, what is the most important part of or message from that slide. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
it's called topic sentence.
Anladım. Önemli.
Efe Karadeniz, do you use it yourself?
Sometimes,
Sometimes. Okay.
not every time.
Yeah, very good. Very good. So this is basically the techniques of effective presentation. So we know our audience. We have an idea of how much they know already. And then we determine the content of our presentation. And then we develop our presentation. And while presenting, we use notes pages as well. And then we make sure that we have a main message in every slide, that the slide is not useless. Okay? There is a purpose of each slide. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. And this is about how you manage your notes. Okay? And we already talked about it. So it tells you what exactly you're going to say. The notes help you with your giving the presentation. Okay, now let's come to the idea. Any questions on this part, first of all? Any other ideas of effective presentation? Let me hear from you, then I can add to the slides. What, in your eyes, is a good presentation?
The presentation.
Maybe effective speaking.
Effective
Yeah.
speaking. What do you mean by effective speaking?
Like the person who is presenting should not do things like like.
That's correct. That's a good way. That's correct. And where should the presenter look at?
Sometimes to
Audience.
yeah.
To the audience, that's right. But in the eye or not?
Not in the eye, because there are more than it can be more than 20 people and you cannot look at all of them in the eye, but you can just look at them and just say that I'm with you. I'm not just looking to the presentation.
Exactly. Very good. But whenever you focus on one particular person, you should look at him or her in the eye, right?
And
In order to give sincerity, communicate sincerity and
And-
genuinity. And that's important. Do you understand me?
Can I say something?
Yes.
We mustn't bore people.
You mustn't what?
Bore.
You mustn't bore the people. That's right.
Yeah.
How can you make sure that the people are not bored?
You have to look one person, and if you listen well, okay, there's no problem.
No, that's right. But what else can you do as techniques of making a presentation more exciting?
Exciting. You can put videos for about.
Okay. And what else can you do?
What can I do? Ya ilgisini çekecek bir şeyler yapacağım ama yani.
Okay, somebody else, please.
You can ask questions that makes them wonder what you're talking about.
Very good. You should ask them questions that makes them wonder what you're talking about. Very good. This is important. And actually, the idea is every 45 seconds, you should make a connection with your audience, okay? At most, every 45 seconds, you should make a connection with your audience. You should ask them a question. You should engage them in the topic. Okay, you should invite them to think about it. Is this
Okay.
clear?
Clear,
Yeah.
clear.
Okay, 45 seconds engagement. What else? Who else has an idea? Anybody else?
It can be background color.
Yeah, background colors are important. That's right. Okay.
The color usage is actually important because it shouldn't make your eyes get tired or other things.
Yeah, that's correct. So it should be actually sort of soft, right? In a way.
And your fonts and all of the your typing type should be important also.
Right. Okay.
And-
The way, yes.
We can word briefly. So we can put topic slides.
Topic
Begin-
sentences. Yes.
Beginning, middle part, maybe,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
end of the part.
All right. Very good. Anybody else? Who else is there? Let's see. Let's see. Kubilay Egeli, are you there? Kubilay.
Hocam mutfağa su almaya gitmiştir.
Okay. Aybüke, are you there? Okay, this is important. I want all the people who show up here to actually participate in the discussion when they are asked to. This is important, okay? So, Gökdeniz, are you there?
Yes.
Gökdeniz, what is your idea of a good presentation, do you think?
Well, I think the person who presents the presentation talk with the,
With the audience.
yeah.
So they should communicate with the audience, right? It should be like an interactive session. Is that what you mean?
Yes, I think it's the most important part.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. Interactive session. Interactive session is important. Very good. And I agree also. Okay, if there is no other questions, then I will shift to the second part, which is actually the part where what constitutes, what makes a good business plan presentation. Okay, for a startup. First of all, what the presentation is made to whom? For the startups, they present to whom mostly?
Okay.
Who is their audience?
Maybe CEOs or just entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneurs or investors, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mostly investors. They do a business plan presentation in order to raise money, right? Last time we talked about an elevator pitch. Does anybody remember what elevator pitch meant?
I do.
Okay, can you tell me?
So think that you're in an elevator. You have, like, let's say you're in 8th floor and you will be going to first. You have nearly 1 minute, and let's say you have an investor next to you and you will tell your project to him.
Very good.
And you have 1 minute.
Okay, maximum.
Can it be 15 seconds?
15 seconds or 1 minute, whatever. Yeah.
Okay.
But what are the 3 things that you're going to mention, Efe? Remember?
Could you repeat again?
What are the three things that you're going to mention in your pitch? How are you going to make the elevator pitch? What are the three questions that you should answer?
Söyleyemeyeceğim, İngilizce söyleyemeyeceğim ama
Söyle peki.
o konu hakkında yeterince bilgisi olması lazım. Galiba. Ben öyle biliyorum.
Hayır çocuğum, onu demek istemiyorum. Hani neydi? Hatırlıyor musunuz? Do you remember an elevator pitch about your project? The three most important things that you should tell about your project.
Mission, vision, strategic objective.
Yes, these are important, but the three most important answers that you should give. For whom are you doing this project? For whom is the service for? For whom is this product for? What is the need that you're meeting? And how are you meeting that need? The three things is whose need, what is the need, and how are you meeting that need? These three things must be in your elevator pitch. Okay? Şimdi, so let's do an example. Let's give an example. Who can tell me what might their elevator pitch be for their own project?
Do you want us to make elevator speech?
Elevator pitch. If you can think about it, but you don't have to tell me right now, but think about it. But what I mean is that in your presentation, the elevator pitch that you're going to prepare will be the cover of your first page. Okay? So it is like your logo. Your elevator pitch should be like your opening sentence. Is that clear?
Yeah.
So it's like a mantra. It's like a slogan for you. It's your slogan.
Okay.
Your elevator pitch is your slogan. For these people, for this need, we are doing this.
Okay.
And this is how. And it's how. So you should come up with a sentence that makes your elevator pitch complete. Okay?
Okay. Okay.
Very good. The second thing that the investors or the audience, the CEOs, etc., whoever you are presenting in order to raise money or to receive feedback for your presentations, for your projects, they're going to look at is your team. How strong is your team? What is their background? What are their competencies?
Yeah, right.
Okay? Everybody, Deniz, do you agree with this?
For sure.
Okay, so you should give really importance to how you describe your team, what the competencies are, what is the role, the division of roles within the team, what is the background of the team, etc. Now, the third thing is to answer the how question. How does your solution, product or service work? And in maximum 6 steps, you're going to describe it.
Solutions?
Solution, çözüm. Bulduğunuz ürün ya da servis.
Altı-
Product or service. How does your solution work? What are the principles of it? For example, if you're building a machine, how does that machine work? What is the input? What is the output, etc. If you are building a platform, how is it going to work on the front end? How is it going to work on the back end? You have to describe this.
Okay.
But in maximum 6 steps. Does this make sense, çocuklar?
Yeah.
So you can use like a flow chart or like visuals. Okay?
Okay.
And then you put little explanations below them in the what are these 6 steps? How does your solution work? How does it solve the problem that it claims that it's solving? Okay.
Okay.
Now, another tip for you is you can have a picture where you show how does the life look before your product and after. How does it change after your product? Whose life are you changing? Are you making a difference? Okay. If you can visualize this and draw a picture of this, that is very useful.
Okay.
So what exactly the exact contribution of your product? And if you can visualize this, that would be very good. Are you with me here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any questions so far?
No.
Is this clear? Does it make sense?
I didn't understand the 4-1. Highlight every angle of your prototype.
Highlight every angle of your prototype means if you have a prototype picture, you should show it from every angle. So
Okay.
every part of it should be shown on the presentation. Okay.
Okay.
Now, what else? Remember, as part of the business plan, we were going to talk about what industry we are working and what is the market look like. How does what is our market research? What do the customers exactly want? What the trends are? Okay. So there's going to be a section on this, and in this section, you have to make sure that you really know about your industry, about which industry you're working in, you're going to enter. Okay. And then you're going to assume that your audience doesn't know about the industry at all. So you're not, for example, if you are going to make a presentation about chemical solutions, then solvents, for example, you are not going to assume that the audience knows about the chemical solvents. Okay.
Okay.
Or if you are going to make a presentation on platforms, on a matching platform, then you're not going to assume that the audience knows about such platforms.
Okay.
Very good. Anybody has a separate opinion on this? Çocuklar?
Like?
Can you rephrase, please? I didn't get the point.
Sorry?
Can you rephrase? I didn't get the point.
The point is that when you're writing on the industry and presenting it, you should make sure that you really know about your industry.
Yes.
Yeah. And you should communicate that to the investor or to the jury, etc.
Yes.
You should really be an expert on your industry.
Yeah.
You should have read all the relevant documentation, all the information, statistics, etc.
For sure.
Okay. And the next important topic is, and in the business plan, this comes as next plans. They are going to look at how you are going to make sure that the customers will buy your product or service. So what is your marketing plan? How are you going to go to the market? This is going to be very important. Okay. So you should have a good slides on what is the model that you have in order to market your products or services. And you should write about what your plans are to expand, to make this a commercial business. This prototype and the incubation, how at the end of the incubation period, how you are going to start actually the business. What is your plan? What are your plans for the next 18 months? So the idea is, if the investor gives you money, what are you going to do with it? That should be very clear.
Okay.
Okay? Efe, the other Efe, what do you think
About giving money.
about this? Does it make sense to make this very clear in your presentation?
I think yes, because the investor should know, like, if I give this man the money, or like if I give money to this group, what are
Yes,
they going to do for me? And
exactly.
they should know this, so they will give.
Very nice. Okay, so these 18 months is a sort of a average period in which you should talk about the milestones, the turning points. What are the critical points in these 18 months that you're going to use this money for? Okay,
18 months. 18.
18.
18 months. Tamam.
Okay, so and in telling them about these 18 months, what you're going to do, what you should be mentioning is actually these topics. First of all, your strategy, your business model, and how your business model is going to perform during the next 18 months. What is your strategy? Market strategy? What is your penetration or going into the industry strategy, etc.? Partnerships in progress. Do you have any partnerships that you already have started to develop? Did you talk with anybody else? Did you talk with any supplier, any distributor, etc.? Did you already have you already talked with any customers yet? What they might be think of? Do you have any list of emails that you sent to these people, for example? And what is your success criteria? The success criteria is, when do you think you should be telling that this is not a success story, this is a failure? When you're going to say that? There should be criteria about what is success for you, for your project. For example,
Can I say something?
yes.
What does mean milestones?
Milestone kritik dönüm noktası demek.
Kritik dönüm.
Okay. Success criteria. Efe, what can be success criteria for you? The other Efe I'm talking about.
Okay.
Efe Karadeniz.
So if I should talk about my project, so we are making a machine that will clean the vegetables and fruits. So
Yeah.
I think our success criteria is to how can I say pazarlamak?
Market.
To market this project idea to someone, like a company like Vestel or Arçelik.
Okay, very good. Very good. So if you can actually acquire one client, that's going to be the initial success criteria, right?
Yes.
Because then it is going to become a viable product, a commercial product. So actually the commercialization partner, if you can form a partnership with a big company like Vestel, right?
Yes.
For example, that's a success story. Very good. Okay, very nice. And you should keep the roadmap simple and optimistic. That's very important. Entrepreneurial people are optimistic people. And they are proactive people. So no matter happens in the world, they follow their what? I mean, they react. They take the opportunity and execute something. So they are doers, not how should I say, philosophizers all the time. They are doers, action people. Okay.
Okay.
Very good. Another part that you should be talking about is about competition. And the idea is, in a good presentation, business plan presentation, is you shouldn't say that we have no competition at all. Even if there is small similarities between some other companies and you should mention them, even if they are loosely connected. That if there is not exactly on your own, exactly doing the same thing, but somehow related things, then you should talk about them. And there should be maximum of 4 or 5 competitors. And what you should do is a SWOT analysis vis-a-vis competitors. SWOT analysis, what does it mean? Does anybody know? Deniz?
I don't really know.
SWOT is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So the comparative analysis of what is your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the opportunities, and what are the threats? Yourself and the competitors.
Okay.
So this is generally a table that you prepare. Okay?
Okay.
Very good. And then you should also know about facts about your competitors. Like, for example, if we're talking about an online platform, a platform business, then, for example, how many subscribers do they have, etc. So all these facts and figures about competitors, you should know how many customers they have, etc. And then if there is a failure story in this area, if a competition has failed, then you should also mention it. Why have they failed, and what are you proposing to do differently? Okay?
Can you say again about SWOT?
SWOT means it's an analysis about what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, what are the opportunities for you, and what are your risks, what are your threats. Okay? Strengths, weakness, opportunity, threat. So you have a matrix, you have a table in which you put down this information.
Okay.
And you do it with your team, and then you decide what to put there, what to put in there.
Okay.
Very good. Then what else? When are we ending the class?
In 3
We
minutes.
have 4 minutes.
Okay. Then next class we're going to continue with this. Okay.
Okay.
And actually, what I'm going to actually let me summarize. And then the next one is revenue and cost structure, and you have to answer these questions. What are your costs? How are you going to make money? That's one. And then the last question is, I ask for funding because here is my idea, here is my team, here is how the solution works, here is how I am an expert on the industry, here are the competitors, here is our main revenue drivers, our cost drivers, our plan for next 18 months, and because of all these, our funding need is blah, blah, blah. Okay? So this is your last sentence, last summary page. Okay? Now, next time, you can use these ideas to develop your project presentations. If you have any questions, please ask me. You can write to me, or you can schedule a meeting with me if you want. Okay?
Okay.
Or you can call me. That's also possible. And next time, what we're going to next week is we're going to listen to some podcasts and then discuss, and you're going to make the discussion about some stories of entrepreneurs. Okay?
Okay.
It's going to be not me lecturing, but you discussing type of a class. Is it clear?
Yeah.
So I want more people to participate then. And I'm going to send who's going to present which podcast.
Did you send this slide pack in Classroom?
Yes, I did already.
Okay.
So this is the end of my class today. And before you go, please, Babür Şah, are you there?
Evet, alıyorum hocam fotoğrafı bu arada.
Teşekkür ederim. So I thank you all. Then I'll see you next time then.
See you.
Babusha is finished, then you can leave, but not now. In 1 minute, please.
Okay.
Thank
Çıkabilirler
you.
hocam.
Can I ask,
Yes, you can
can I
leave now.
ask something?
Sure.
When are we going to, what was that? Present our presentations, like our ideas. I missed that part.
I sent meeting request. If you look at your calendar, you're going to see which day you are going to be in.
15 Nisan'da Göktürk bizimki.
Tamam.
Ne?
Bu
Tamam mı
sunum
çocuklar?
var.
Ha tamam anladım. Okay.
Tamam
see you
mı
later.
çocuklar?
Görüşmek
Görüşürüz.
üzere hocam. Kendinize
Okay,
iyi bakın.
thank you very much. Thank you. Bye bye.